What's up, guys? So today we're reading The Magic Faraway Tree by Enid Blyton, chapter 19. The Land of Old Women. The children and the others were quite shocked at being thrown up the ladder, through the hole in the cloud and into such a funny land. It was quite small, not much larger than a big garden. It had a high wall all around to prevent the children from falling off the edge of the land. In the middle was a really peculiar thing. "It's the shoe," said Joe. "Gosh, I never imagined such a big one. Did you?" Everyone stared at the shoe. It was as big as an ordinary house and had been made very cleverly into a cottage. Windows were made in the side, and a door had been cut out. A roof had been put on, and chimneys, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Chimneys smoked from it. A rose tree climbed around it, and a honeysuckle covered one side. "So that's the shoe where those naughty children live," said Beth excitedly. I never thought it would be quite like that. How did the old woman get such a big one?" "Well, it once belonged to a giant, you know," said Silky. "The old woman did him a good turn and asked him for an old boot. She had so many children that she couldn't get an ordinary house, so the giant gave her one of his biggest boots, and she got her brother to make it into a house." "Look at all of those children," said Moonface. "They're not very well behaved." About 20 boys and girls were playing around the house. They shouted and screamed, and they fought and wrestled one another. "I'm not surprised the old woman wouldn't allow them bread with their soup and punished them and sent them to bed," said Silky. "They deserved it." The children suddenly saw Joe and the others and ran up to them. They pulled Beth's hair, they tugged at saucepans, kettles, they made fun of Moonface's round face, they trod on Joe's toes and bumped into Rick. They were very naughty and unkind. Now, just you stop all this," said Moonface, not old Moonface, looking angry. "If you don't, I'll fetch the old woman." Oh yeah, I got the old Moonface from the old woman. What was next? Really, Wind? Really? Oh, come on, can't we be friends, Mr. Wind? Please? What am I doing? Talking to myself. Because the wind is blowing everything away. She isn't here, shouted the naughty children, dancing around in delight. "She says she's going to go away and leave us, and we're glad. Now we shall have bread with our soup, and we'll go to the cupboard and open cans of pineapple and jars of cherries. We'll sleep out of doors if we like, and we'll dress up in the old woman's clothes." "Whatever will she say to that?" said Beth in horror, thinking what her own mother would say if she stole her clothes. "Oh, she would be furious," cried the children. "But then why are you doing it?" said Wyatt. "But she's gone, so she won't know." "Oh, we'll have a great time now." One of the children in the shoe called to the others, "Hey, I've opened a can of pineapple. Come and taste it, it's lovely." With screams of delight, the children rushed to the shoe. Joe looked at the others. "I've got an idea," he said. "What about telling the old woman about the children dressing up in her best clothes? She might rush back up here and then get her precious clothes, and then we could slip down the ladder, go to Moonface's house, and bolt the door on the inside." "That's a really good idea," said Silky. "Joe, you go down and tell her." Joe was rather nervous about it. Nobody really wanted to go and see the fierce old lady. At last Rick said he would. He badly wanted to make up for all of the silly things he had done a few days before. "I'll go," he said, and down the ladder he went. He banged hard on Moonface's door. The old woman opened it. "Old woman, do you want your best clothes?" began Rick. "Because if my best clothes, I'd forgotten all about them," cried the old woman. "Those children will be messing about with them. Boy, go to my house, get all my clothes, and bring them down here. You can have a toffee if you do." "Well, I think," began Rick, but the old woman wouldn't listen to him. She pushed him away and cried, Go now. Don't stop to argue with me. Go at once." But she's not his parents. Also, I am sorry for, you not really being able to see me. I can't really see myself in the camera either. It's because I'm doing it outdoors and I'm under an umbrella. Look, if you really look hard enough, you can see it up there. Yeah, so Rick ran up the ladder. He waited there a minute or two, his head sticking out into the land above. He saw the naughty children coming out of the tree dressed in the old woman's clothes, shrieking with laughter, and how funny they looked, dressed up in long skirts and dresses and hats. Rick grinned to himself and slipped down the ladder again. He banged at Moonface's door. "Well, have you brought my clothes?" asked the old woman, opening the door. "You naughty boy, you haven't." "Please, old woman, I couldn't bring them," said Rick, in his most polite voice. "You see, your children have taken them all and they're dancing about wearing them. They've opened your cans of pineapple and they're going to take their beds out of doors and sleep there and—" Oh, the bad naughty creatures," cried the old woman. She gathered her black skirts and climbed the ladder at top speed. She appeared in the land above and saw at once her naughty children dancing about in her best clothes. She rushed after the surprised children. "So you thought you could do what you liked, did you?" she cried. "You thought I would never come back? Well, I am. Well, here I am, and I'll soon show you how to be sorry." She was so angry that she rushed round like a whirlwind. The children took off the clothes in a fright and ran away like hares. I don't know what they are. I'm assuming they're not hairs like top of your head. HARES, by the way, if anyone knows the definition of that. Dump it in the comment section down below. That sounded way ruder than it did in my head. Just pop it in the comment section, please. Down below the book. Down below the video. On mobile, it will be down below the recommended videos tab on the side. But on desktop, it will be down below my description. So, yeah. And on TV, you don't get a comment section. But, like, nobody watches YouTube on TV anyway. So, what would it matter to you that you can't see the comments? Or at least not signed out anyway. Haven't tried to sign in, but yeah. Anyhow, let's get back to this thing. The old woman ran after them, so angry she didn't notice that Joe and the others were not her own children. They got whirled into the shoe with the others. There they all were, about 25 or 26 of them. There was a big saucepan shimmering on the kitchen stove. "Get the soup bowls," ordered the woman. "No bread for any," ordered the old woman. "No bread for any of you tonight. Mary, Jean, Tom, serve out the bowls and then come to me one by one for your supper." Joe and the others had bowls given to them too. They didn't dare say anything. They went out the soup in their turn. The old woman ladled it out of the big saucepan. I really hope it's not one of the saucepan man's saucepans, because if it is, he won't be very happy. I keep having to shout because of the wind. The naughty wind. She stared at the old saucepan man when he came up. "You bad boy," she said. "You played again with my kettles and saucepans, I see. Wait till you finish your soup and I'll punish you." Poor old saucepan man trembled so much that his pans clashed together as loudly as thunder. He rushed back to his place at once, spilling his soup as he went. "I want some bread," wailed a little boy, but he didn't get any. Everyone ate their soup, which was really very good, and they will all go to bed. "First, you know what happens to naughty children," said the old woman, and she took her fist. All the children began to howl and cry. "We're sorry we were naughty, old woman. We didn't mean to dress up in your clothes." "Oh, yes, you did," said the old woman. She beckoned to Rick. "Come here, you bad boy." Rick got up. He whispered to the others, "Look, I'll let her punish me, and while she does, you creep out and run to the ladder. Hurry, I'll join you as soon as I can." Rick went boldly up to the old woman. "Put your hands on your head and stand in the corner," she said. Poor Rick, he didn't like it at all, because it made his arms ache. He began to howl as... I need to move a little bit. Oh, and there goes the 10-minute mark. Yay. Loudly as he could, so that the others could creep away without being heard. One by one they slipped out of the ladder and rushed to the hole, looking for the ladder that led down to the faraway tree. "Oh no, I believe this land is just about to move," said Moonface, looking around. A peculiar wind had got up and was blowing round them. Very often when the strange lands at the top of the tree began to move away, this strange wind blew. "Well, quick, let's get down the ladder," cried Silky. "We don't want to live in the land of old women. I'd hate that." They all scrambled down the ladder, glad to be on the broad branch at the bottom. When they did, they were safely there. Beth began to cry. "Poor Rick will be left behind," she sobbed. Everyone looked very sad. The land above the cloud began to make a strange noise. "It's moving on," said Moonface. "We'll never see Rick again." But just then someone came slipping and sliding down the ladder. Bump, bump, bump. And hey, presto, there was Rick, in such a hurry to get down before the land moved away that he had missed his footing and slid down the ladder from top to bottom. "Rick, Rick, we're so glad to see you," cried everyone. "What happened?" "Well, the old woman punished me, as you saw," grinned Rick. "And then when I went to take my place, she saw you were all gone and sent me after you. I tore out and she came too, but I got to the ladder first, and now the land has moved on, so we're safe." Moonface went into his house, and they heard him banging about loudly. They went to see what he was doing. "He's taking up the board that nailed up the slippery slip," giggled Joe. "Good old Moonface. I'm glad he's got his house back again for himself. We'd better go home. We promised Mother we wouldn't be long. It's a good thing we can use the slippery slip." And down it they went, their hair streaming out as they flew down on their cushions. What exciting times they have, don't they? And that is all for now. I will see you tomorrow in The Magic Faraway Tree by Enid, Blyton, Chapter 20. Bye bye!